because my guest is also he knows a lot of presidents, president of Ghana, the president of anywhere in the south in the west of Africa. He has met them, interviewed them, related with them in the course of his being a journalist. But I want to start from the basics so you understand. He read Yoruba, and it is a lot of people will look at it that why would you read Yoruba? But it's the application of what you read that becomes a successful story. You might read engineering and not apply it to even making bicycle spoke. But when you read any course and then it transfers into your profession, then you read a proper course. If you read Yoruba, you would know that Yoruba is like philosophy. But anyway, I'm here with my guest, Dele Momodu, the publisher. Well done, sir.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Thanks. We're talking about, we're sharing the times that you were an on-the-run journalist. Because first time I met you was in Classic magazine when you were working with me, Mofe Damijo, as the editor. And I'll read your columns and I'll be like, oh, Pendulum. And when I finish reading it, I say, this man is really very, and then I'll go to RMD's office, Mr. there, and I'll say, this guy writes so well. And he said he read Yoruba. And I was like, but this doesn't look like he read Yoruba. He said, well, that's his course, but the thing that is inside him is what he's expressing. How did you get to read Yoruba?
I think I was a bit of a rebel. Between 1977 and 78, I was working as an errand boy, practically, at the University of Ife Library.
Okay.
And that was where I came in contact with literature, with world scholars, the Wole Soyinkas, the Koli Omotosho, they were all in Ife at the time. Then I realized that every year during the graduation ceremony, you will find about 200, 300 people graduate from English department. You see about equal number in law, in medicine, what you call the funky subject. Yeah. So, and when you come down to our indigenous language, like how did you know? Maximum 4. I said, at the rate we're going, our languages will just disappear. So, I had read a lot of English literature on my own, working in the library. I was fascinated by it, but I was not challenged by it. So I wanted something more challenging. I asked people, how come people don't really deal Yoruba? But they said, no, apart from the fact that it's not funky enough, it is a difficult language. I can an everyday language that will speak be difficult. And fortunately for me, my mom was unlettered. Let me put it, very, very brutally. Illiterate. She could not speak one word of English. All she could speak to me was Yoruba. If I woke up in the morning, that was what welcome.
She was giving you
Oriki, original, you know. So I decided that, okay, let me give it a shot. And you know, by the time even my mom discovered that I was reading Yoruba in the university, she had to call me like,
why go to school?
You know, so, and I said, Mommy, only me or daughter, only me kukupe, yo, bada bi Gesi, oda bi Faransé. You know, I had to explain to her that some people must make that sacrifice to preserve our indigenous languages, our culture, our tradition. And then I graduated. For my national service, I lectured A-level Yoruba at the Oyo State College of Arts and Science. But thereafter, I couldn't get a job quickly. So somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, I was fortunate. Chief Akemobule was deputy governor of Ondo State. So I went to his house one day with my friend, his son Shegun, and then we were discussing. I've always been very political. He said, "Oh, you this guy, you're very intelligent, very intelligent. I want you to work for me." So he engaged me. Unfortunately,
not on the Yoruba level,
but as private secretary.
Okay.
Unfortunately, just a few months down the line, the Buhari coup happened. and they put everybody in
this
prison.
This
okay. In end of 1983, December 31st, what a bad new year, you know. They picked my boss and threw them into the dungeon. He was in Owo. I was staying in his house in Ijeru-Ekiti. So every morning, I would go first to Owo. Imagine from Ijeru-Ekiti, it would take you about 3 hours drive. And then he would now send me. To cut a long story short, anyway, I quit that job around 1985, and then I went to work for the Oni of Ife, Oba Kwadeshiju Adelugushe II, briefly. And then I decided that, look, I must expand the possibilities for me. This Yoruba thing is going to get me into trouble and penury. So penury
being the underlying word.
So I then decided to go and do a master's in literature in English.
Okay.
As I was finishing that, also there was no job. I wanted to be a teacher, probably marry a teacher and live happily thereafter. I couldn't get a teaching appointment. In fact, there was an embargo on teaching appointments and promotions. I must add that. So teachers were stagnant in the university,
and there was a drove. People left.
So that was when everybody started checking out.
Checking out of teaching service.
Then my best friend Prince Damola Aderemi one day called me and said, "But you have a first degree in Yoruba, a master's in literature in English. That's a fantastic combination. You should be able to write." So that was how the idea of writing came to me. Then I started writing for the Guardian newspapers at Rutam House in Lagos. They were paying me 25 naira per article. I wait until they published 4.
The time of Stanley?
Stanley Makibu, Olatunji Dare.
I heard about these people. I don't know about those.
They were the masters. Odia Ofemu, Onukaba, the Noyojo of blessed memory, you know, all of them were the Guardian. Sunala Lumese, they had the best, the biggest of the Dr. Yemi Ogubi, everybody was there in the Guardian. And the first day my name appeared in the Guardian, I was in heaven. I was floating. I saw my byline in the Guardian with the masters. So, and that was how I started. Then I was writing for the Sunday Tribune in Ibadan. That was a fantastic editor then.
Did you have a beat at that time? Did you have a beat, or you were just like anything?
No, I was just writing any article, anything. You know, I was more of an intellectual, you know. Okay. So I'd read too much philosophy, too much literature, and, you know, too much history, sociology. I was a voracious reader. I was greedy about it. You know, when you come from a poor background, the only thing that can liberate you, and that's why anything to do with education, I don't joke with it. The only thing that can liberate you,
because it can take you as far as money wouldn't have taken you.
Exactly. So you and I will never have met. It's not possible. Where will I meet you? From Agbadi, you know. So I started writing, and then somewhere along the line, everybody just started talking about my writing style. Why? Because I think first in Yoruba, then I transliterate into the English language. So my language is flowery. It's like I'm, you know, singing. It's like I'm beating drums, you know, tam-tam. And that was it. Then I met this young man. God bless his soul. He's no longer with us. Onuka Badinoyojo. Okay. He had come to Ife to cover the Olojo festival. So I then gave him an article on Olojo that, look, we were born in Ife. You are coming from Lagos. Go ahead. But we are the son of the soil, you know. So help me publish this one. So he gave it to the African Guardian, and they published. And I said,
African Guardian was the magazine.
Was the magazine then? I said, oh.
I was told because I didn't know.
Well, it's good that you knew it. So we published that, and then that was how I started writing. Then one day he invited me, said I should come to Lagos to meet Nduka Arabo, that maybe he will be able to give me a job. I came, Nduka said no, he couldn't give me a job. I was frustrated. And then Onuka said, don't give up. Let's go to the Concord newspaper. I'm not listening to this story. The Concord was owned by Chief Moshood Abiola. But at that time, Chief Abiola was one of the most hated Nigerians. You know, politics is a bad thing. There was nothing bad in this world that they are not written about this man. So I was biased, naturally, that
what kind of
who wants to go and work for a man they call the Islamic fundamentalist. He said all kinds of bad things. But when you are hungry, sometimes you have to swallow your pride. So I went, just like that, I went to Concord. They took me to Louis Obi, he was the editor. And he wasn't around, so they said I should wait for him. I don't have a choice. I waited very patiently. Then he came. When he came, I entered. Then I mentioned my name. You I've been seeing your
write-up.
You're a fantastic writer. So what can I do for you? I said, I need a job, sir. You need a job? I'll give you one right away. You will not believe it. He gave me a job. I was so confused. You know, when you've been looking for something, when you find it, if a confusion,
you first clean your.
So then he asked me, so how much would you like to take? Me, coming from Ife, you're asking me, what do I know about Lagos? I quickly calculated. I said, if you can give me 700 naira a month, me, 700 naira a month. That's what I asked for, stupid man. So the man looked at me like, 700. Would you stay in a house with it? So by the time
he now upped it
from 8,400, he then decided to up it to 9,000. And I think the next question, when are you starting? I said, I have to go back and tell my mom now. Means I was looking for a job. In confusion, I was begging to be allowed to go back.
Just go make one trip.
So, at any rate, that was how I got the job, May 1988. And I went back, came back. I had to squat. I was a squatter. That's another interesting story. I had a girlfriend there who called me a squatter. That's why I remember the title.
Okay.
I said, she left me suddenly. And
you had no future. Now you're a writer.
This poor man. You know, when I come to Lagos, he's squatting with a friend. When he comes to Ife, he can't afford to take Hotel de Ganga. You know, so foolish man. So that was how she left me. She never told me why until, you see, as God will have it, Concord, I was doing well because I was desperate to prove myself and to banish poverty from my life. They gave me job for one paper. I was writing for 5.
And African Concord.
African Concord.
African Concord was their own magazine.
It was their own magazine. So we had African Concord, we had National Concord, we had Sunday Concord, then we founded Weekend Concord, and then I was writing for Ishokon, the Yoruba newspaper. Yes. They had Ishokon, they had business, anything. So within a few months, they noticed that there is one Afamako in this.
That's everywhere.
It's everywhere, you know. So they transferred me from African Concord to Weekend Concord. When they were going to transfer me again, drama, I said I won't go. My editor said, look, the MD personally selected the Dr. Doyin Abiola, and she has picked some of the best writers in there. And so there was Mike Awuyifa, there was Dingba Igwe. Hey, I said, God, me, I'll be writing for a weekend paper. Because I was a scholar, I couldn't imagine
being tied to what?
To entertainer. No, even to entertainment. You know, we saw entertainment then. It was not like now, when you guys have changed the landscape and you are big guys, you know. I saw your big truck out there now. And I had to knock it quick. I said, this is it. In those days, there was nothing like that. My dress like tie and dye at the revolution.
Like the German Alikula.
Yes, now my child likes Pomo, doesn't like meat. Money no day. So that was it, and they transferred me. The first cover, I got it for them. Hey, come and see explosion. Cover after cover. So I became a star writer. Within 2 months, because we started that paper March 89. By May 1989, I had double promotion. It has never happened. From staff writer, I became literary editor.
Okay.
6 months after.
How did you meet MKO within that circle?
I had met MKO in African Concord.
Okay.
I'd actually met MKO before ever coming to live in Lagos.
Okay. I
was fascinated by him. I wanted to see who is this man everybody talks about. It's either they liked him or they hated him.
And his proverbs at that time?
No, by then I had not even discovered his proverb. He was just being frustrated by MPN. And, you know, when they said the presidency was not for sale and they just kicked him out of MPN then. So, but anyway, in Concord, we had gone to interview him one day for the African Concord. And I was dazed. 3 of us went there. I think myself, Baba Femi Ojudu is now a senator, and Sam Omasheye. And when we were going, our own boss gave us brand envelope. I've never seen anything like. You mean somebody? You just imagine someone who is paying your salary. You come to interview him, and when you are going, then he gives you money, as if you are working for someone else.
And to take it without be wanting to.
Those who did not go with us, come on. It was a tug of war in the office. When they say chairman is calling you, you have to. You have to leave everything and go there because you know you will come back smiling. That was Chairman. So that was how I first encountered him. Then one day he wanted Shina Peters to come and perform. He was hosting the Super Eagles. I think they were called Green Eagles there. I don't know what they were called then.
Green Eagles.
Green Eagles. So, and the MD, so he called the MD to arrange Shina. And he said there is an authority on Shina Peters here. He actually gave Shina Mania the title. I gave Shina them that I should go and get Shina for chairman. So I went to Iju to look for Shina. So when I got Shina eventually, I now came back to chairman's house on Monshood Abiola. That was my first time of entering the house. Oh my God. You know, in that manner, sitting down with Abiola, no crowd, no, you know. So I told him, I said, Shina will come. He said, fantastic. Then he looked at my hand. Poverty is a bad thing. You see one rickety wristwatch in my hand.
Thought it wasn't Casio.
He just went inside his room. He didn't tell me. I didn't know. He just said, I'm coming. Then he went. Then he brought this gold wristwatch. I didn't know whether to sell it.
he was about. He gave RMD like 4.
No, the man. It was incredible. So that was how I met him, and the relationship developed from there. But you won't believe I stayed only 2 years in Concord
before moving
to Classic, because after my literary editorship thing, 6 months after, in November 89, I was promoted again to news editor. So I became number 3. Mike Awoyifa, Dingba Igwe of blessed memory, and myself. Yeah. Then Mary Ezekiel came one day and said she would want me to edit Classic. I said that would be tough.
Which was a new baby at the time.
Which was a new baby. I said that would be tough. She said, no, what makes it tough? I said, Concord is a big place. Then she made me an offer I couldn't reject. I became the highest paid editor in the whole of Nigeria. Exactly 2 months landing in Lagos. It was a big celebration. So my editor then, Mike Awoyifa, advised me, he said, look, Dele, if I were in your shoes, I know Concord is beautiful, Concord is big, but unless you kill me and kill Dingba, you have already reached your peak so suddenly. So that was how I left and then joined Classic. I couldn't tell Abiola, but I told my MD, Doi Abiola, and then she prayed for me and said, if that's what you want, that's fine. And MKO was now having a dinner for Malam Sani Zoro,
the head of news.
Yeah, he was in Concord, and then he became NUJ president.
Yeah.
So it was a strategy. And when we got there, we sat down, nearly all of us. Then MKO said he was coming from Tokyo or somewhere. Passed us. We didn't know he had noticed. And then when it was time to make his speech, he said, good evening, everybody, blah, blah, blah. I could see some runaway people from Concord. I can see Mary Ezekiel and I can see Dele Momodu.
She too went through that.
And, and that was how, after the event, we went out there and MKO said, why didn't I tell? I said, I couldn't tell you, you won't let me go. Okay, so why are you not coming to my house? I said, who will allow me through your gate? The biggest man in town. But finally, he wrote on a card and said, security house, please let Biara see me anytime. He told me to go and laminate it, and that's your multiple visa. So that was how I started having access to him and all that.
With his the card with his home number, landline. We'll take a break, and that's the legendary writer, philosopher, politician, entrepreneur, restaurateur, and how is your cook? When I came to Ghana,
he's there.
He's there.
Yes, Michael. He's there.
Michael. Quickly, we're talking about girl-child education. The essence of girl-child education is that you educate tomorrow's woman. And when you educate tomorrow's woman, she will bring up good children. It's been something that people have ignored for a while. But even Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, the wife, have taken it upon themselves that girl-child education is important because the more literate mothers are, the better the upbringing of children. If you notice children that are hot-tempered and that are misfits, probably did not have good I remember parenting back in the days. Most of us were more scared of our mothers than our fathers. And so this evening I'm talking to a lady who has been driving that for many years, and now she's working to see that girl child education is a dream come true through the foundation that my wife and I have set up. And so, welcome, Mrs. Ini Abimba.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Why do you think the girl child education is so important?
I think it's there's no gainsaying. Okay. There's no gainsaying. We hear the saying that if you want a community to grow, then you educate the women in the community. And for a country like Nigeria, that half of our population, we have women as half of our population, there's no gainsaying that it's extremely important that we do that. And this is a cause that is very dear to my heart. The world over, there is nothing else that governments are doing than putting much more, emphasis on education. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, that's not something that we're doing. Every single year, our budgets come out, the education budget is cut. It was quite interesting. He was talking about Macron that just came, and he was talking about education and said that this year alone, he had to increase the budget on girls' education 10 times over. And that just stuck out for me because, again, everybody is seeing the importance. More girls are out of school, and so we need to get them back in school. We have 3 countries with the highest numbers of girls out of school, and Nigeria is with the highest number.
This is our Nigeria.
This is our Nigeria. We are in the same league with Pakistan, that is 3 million. So Nigeria is 5.5 million girls out of school. Pakistan 3 million. And Ethiopia that we used to say that Ethiopia is a country of poverty and all of that, is just over 1 million. And I know they're doing so much. I lived in Ethiopia for 10 years, and I know how important it is that the new governments, have tried to ensure that there's a change. But we don't seem to be doing anything. And that's why this foundation is so important.
What really has been the reason for that? Is it that the government did not care? Is it that policies were not there? Or is it the male child syndrome thing that has been a bane in African society?
It's a potpourri of all of that. So first of all, you have culture. So in the days, back in those days, I remember my father used to say that, when he had only me for a long time, and he sent me to nursery school. And there were people back then, I'm talking about over 40 years.
Asking him why?
So I said, are you okay? Get child education. He go end up for my house now.
True.
Man will marry and change name. So there's no reason for you to be spending money sending her to nursery school. So we have that culture, really. We live in a very patriarchal society where we still think that it's the boy or the male children that need to be forward. Girls, you send them to school, they will still marry and change their names and all of that. And then the fact that our government does not even pay attention to education. It will frighten you to see some of the schools that we have in Lagos State. I mean, we think that Lagos State is urban, cosmopolitan, but it is frightening to see some structures that we call schools in Lagos State. And so I'm not talking about other states that are outside of Lagos. So we're not paying attention to education. We've talked about this on vacancy. We're not paying attention to teachers. We're not paying attention to anything that has to do with education. Okay. And I don't know how we intend to
what's the ratio of men to women in the educational sector?
I would say, let's be very kind if it's about an 8 or a 9 to 1.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's that bad. Because if a family is going through issues and they have 4 children and 3 are girls, all those girls, maybe one of them will go to school with the boy. The others will need to step back.
Or be
married out very early. And as I said, this is very dear to my heart because, I remember that I also come from a family that my father didn't have as much, but he was really interested in education. But it would have been very easy for me to have gotten out of school. As at the time I was finishing secondary school in Form 5, I couldn't pay the 75 naira that was for my final exams. The school had to pay for me. So for me, the Purple Girl Foundation is something that is very dear to my heart. And it's fantastic that you and your wife are putting it up together. But as a trustee sitting on that foundation, my work is to ensure that we're able to talk about this as much as possible. We're able to get government on it. And we're able to get people interested as well to also, join hands with us and ensure that everything, as little as we can. It's a lot of work out there. It's a lot of work.
All right. And so after the launch, what are you looking at? Is it going to be only Lagos based or?
Not at all. We are starting with, some pilot states. 3 states in the first instance, and we're going to start with that. We've already found out our beneficiaries in those 3 states, and we intend to go nationwide. But it's a gradual thing, and of course we need the support, and everybody should be on board this thing. So please join us after the launch. We're going to put out as much information as we can about this.
All right. If they need to get in touch or be part of this,
well, you can find us we're on social media. All our social media handles are working. The Purple Girl Foundation, that is what it is on Instagram. Purple Girl Foundation. You can follow us there. You get all our contacts. The website is purplegirlfoundation.org. So please join us on the website. You can sponsor a girl. You can contribute. We have everything, all the information that you need. It's online for you to be able to join us. But again, as I said, this is a cause that everybody should be part of.
All right. Thank you. The final shot here would be, if anyone wants to be part of this, what do they need to be? I mean, like, if somebody wants to benefit from this, what should they do? Because people will now say, oh, I have like 2 daughters who want to give to you. What is the criteria?
So we go through a process. It's not just, you can't just send us names and we take it on. We do our own findings as well. And we work with schools. So we have to work with, if the child is in school and the school, so for now, our first pilot stage, we're working with schools who say to us, look, we have 3-4 students from different families who have had to stop school or who couldn't do their exams. So we take those names, we find out, we meet the parents of those children, ascertain that these are real beneficiaries, and then we bring them on board. So if you have any of those people, please reach us at any of our functions. We have forms that they have to fill. We have verification forms they will fill, and then we will do all the other groundwork that needs to be done, and of course take them on board.
All right. On my right here now, it's a man who today claimed that that he taught me how to be on television and on radio. I first got on television in 1988, and by 1993, I was on AIT.
Wow. To me, tele was just a vision there.
That's the problem, because you needed to evolve.
Your father.
So when you're about to do this new one, you're like, what's going on? How are these things? Kilo Shelegongo, so I had to. But it's okay. I won't tell everybody what happened. All the lectures, no, it's fine. You'll be senior comedian, you understand? Senior MC. Your pocket senior, don't be player, I know. It's bad. But he's TV level, Baba. No wala.
Your mic is not working. So
I know say no they work.
Did you know of a guy called Eja? Okay, wait. Do you know of a guy called Patrick Ichore? No. Wait. Did you know of a guy called Mr. Johnson? Wait, I'm just telling you now. Did you work as crew member with Adio family?
Oh yes, I know the Adio family.
Okay, you know the
Adio family.
Did you work with them on the program?
No.
Okay.
Not that time.
Did you remember their floor manager? All right. Okay. Let. All right. It's our music. This, you did your top 20.
Yes.
Today,
yes.
Was it live?
No, pre-recorded.
It was pre-recorded. How did they knock Wizkid off that chart?
But apparently he's on #1 spot as well with Duncan Mighty.
Yes. But Fake Love with and Duncan Mighty. So it makes collabo they work, right?
No, they work. It's because what collaborations do is you buy into the fans of that person.
Okay.
And the person
you bring your creativity
exactly
and leverage on the fans.
Absolutely. So it's what it is. So it was pretty clear. Wizkid at the time still is one of the biggest on the continent.
Okay.
Duncan Mighty has been missing in action.
Okay.
So if not for any reason,
from Port Harcourt boy to this one now.
Exactly. So if not for any reason, you will at least listen to the song.
Because of Wizkid.
Then you'll not be Duncan Mighty. Duncan Mighty. But Duncan Mighty is a great artist as well.
And the foreign artists actually recognize the song.
Absolutely. It's
All right, so
incredible.
collabo is now something we should actually push for a lot of all these young artists.
And when I say collaborations, I mean across board, beyond the
Okay.
music. Collaborations, whatever it is you're doing. Let's say
Movies.
his show, movies.
No, this one is not collaboration. I'm helping Yaba people. This is IT from Yaba Left.
There's a collaboration is in comedy too.
How?
Example now, if I use your joke, the audience will be like, that's Alibaba's joke, this guy is good. Understand? I involve your joke.
That's stealing.
That's only near.
What kind of?
That are skilled people.
Which one? Oh, this is.
Is kind of
That's collaboration now. It's collaboration. Okay, for a lot of people, the difference between DJ and VJ is audio visual.
Technically, it is.
Technically,
Yes.
So what's up? There's so many of you now, and so is it the new wave of television and online television that is making what?
You're pretty spot on. So VJ is video jockey.
Okay.
What that means is to be a video jockey, you must represent a pop culture TV platform.
Okay.
Because that's the only way you can be visual.
that genre can be recognized.
Can be recognized. If you don't work on television, pop culture to be precise, there is no way in the world can you be a video jockey.
Okay.
You know, so but what I've been able to do is the fact that I live a life of no restrictions. I've tried to do beyond the norm. So what people expect of you is, oh, you do TV, you're a presenter, and that's pretty much it. But I've gone beyond to do radio, to merchandise fashion, to make music as well. I made my movie debut last year, so I'm just honestly.
I kind of like a culture shock one time that you had one part of your.
Oh, the blonde beards. It was
Yes.
just, it was a statement thing for me when I was starting out in 2008. I just wanted that type of vibe where even if you don't remember my name,
You remember the
you
beard,
could be like, that guy now we get that beard. Oh yeah, then you can
which is the same
remember
thing that DJ Sose did.
me. Or with the tats on his face. So yes, but by 2015, I realized I was privileged to have
Broken that.
Yeah, I've made that relative success, so I could let go of it.
But I don't think. Okay, Sose let go of his when he got married, because
yeah.
they said if he brings that face, he's not getting the wife. so he cleaned it up. Right? All right. So, and you're a betting guy.
No.
There was one day we were at the airport.
That was ridiculous. We couldn't get on the flight to worry.
They canceled the flight that day. Then we came the next day.
I remember.
And they still said our flight was shaky.
I remember.
And we're waiting for about like 3-4 hours.
I remember clearly. But boss, now you try me now. You said I don't go fit squat.
But that is the thing.
I don't go fit squat.
Okay, let me tell you. If you're not a betting guy, Ini, I told this guy, I said, you can't do 50 squats. You remove glasses, remove shirt.
Because I'm
let's go. But that is a betting guy. See, what you okay? If you were Jesus, you would have been tempted.
No, but you know to bet.
If you were Jesus, you would have been tempted. Because if you said, turn this into bread, he'd be like, bread, agege or sliced bread. Agege or sliced bread, tell me which one.
That's short bread.
You understand? Because, and you want the money. And before we entered the plane, he said, bros, transfer before you change your mind.
That's true.
Bros, you the player go.
Before you change your mind, just give it. I just say you won't just dash me money that day, but it's okay. You like people to work for these things. So you just say you
I
don't
don't want him to work. I thought you were going to be like,
you don't be the
bros,
bishop.
let's just forget it.
Who I be? How much I get? I don't even forget how. I'll collect money.
I just thank God I brought that to the studio today.
No, what we bet on was fitness.
Yes.
You want to try some?
We fit do that.
Lord. Nice.
Okay. Since we're talking about fitness and you fit to that, if you give me 100 press ups here, 50K.
Me?
100 press ups.
50,000 naira.
100.
My Mary. My Mary will not change his
50 press ups.
50 press up.
Yeah.
Oh, 50.
No, but if you know feel reach 100, you go pay that 50K.
He said 50 press ups.
100 press
100
ups for
press ups
50K.
to 50K.
That was 500 per press up. 100 press ups, right?
Yeah. But before you start, if you no go feel reach 100, you go pay that 50K.
Did you not see Zlatan Ibrahimovic and
Beckham.
that bet?
That's a 50,000.
Yes.
100.
Don't buy 100%.
Camera, please come on me. Fellow Nigerians.
Please come on me.
We're all counting. Ready?
Yes. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
It's money there.
Yeah. 50K. Yes, we're ready. 1, 2, 3.
What are you doing? You're not counting this.
4,
You're not counting.
7, 5,
You will not get to 50.
6, 7. Is it your count? 8, 9,
50K is
10, 11.
See, the girl chided.
Dead.
All right, so beyond the work, what would you say managers, what's the role of managers in helping? Because I found out that many managers can't cross the T's and dot the I's of some of these artists and can't call them to question for certain things. So what is that? What is that? What is happening? Is it a big problem? Or there are artists that have managers and the managers don't have foresight to even help the career of the artist.
Well.
So what's happening about managing artists? Have you managed anyone before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So in terms of being a manager, I usually like to tell people that it's pretty broad. So there's the road manager, there's the business manager. Sometimes, for the most part, one person stands in between
the two.
both. And I think it lies on the artist as well. So my manager, for example, I know his strength is not into all those typing, getting proposals ready. He's not that guy.
Okay.
But he's the movement guy.
He's not the administrative.
He's not administrative in any way. So I had to get someone else to handle that part.
But he could do marketing.
But he could do, yes, he could move, he could market. He's a road guy.
Okay.
You know, or call people for the airport. May they arrange this one.
So you can sort out logistics. And all of that
So
stuff.
you need to play to people's strengths and forget about the weaknesses. Play to the strengths and get results. And I think that's the part a lot of artists don't do.
So what it also means is that the guy that is a road guy, that his strength is in logistics and all of that stuff, connecting appointments, should not now be bothered with creative.
No, if it's not his thing, he shouldn't bother, quite frankly. Shouldn't bother. There are some people that they can tell you everything great on paper,
Okay.
but they don't know how to get it done.
Actualization.
So get the content from them on paper. Then you work on getting things done.
Is there a vacuum? Is there a deficit of managers, good managers in the industry?
There are not even too many managers. There are not even too many people that understand what it is to be a manager. The roles of a manager. What are you supposed to do for the artist? Not too many of them.
Okay. A question that's been bothering a lot of artists. How do you get airplay?
The truth is, from my end, you send your music, the people that handle quality control, they handle it, they plug in the music and voila.
Because a lot of other young artists who have not gotten airplay believe that it's money induced, and sometimes they listen to a particular song and they say, this song is not as good as mine.
Yeah, why is mine not getting played?
Yes.
Well, the truth is, so on my side, I don't know how it happens everywhere else.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to act like I don't know that people take money to play music.
Okay.
I don't subscribe to that school of thought. That's why deliberately, I don't even get involved in getting your songs plugged in.
Okay.
Like if you call me and say, music, I feel called default F.
Okay.
I don't handle that part of the story. But for the most part, there is one person on our side that handles, for radio for example, that handles the music. His work is to get the music.
And then
it suits the sound of the station.
Plug them in.
Take out, if there are curse words, take them out.
Radio edit,
get it ready, then plug them in. If there is demand on the song, regardless of whoever, I'm talking Wiz, David,
they get airplay.
You get more airplay. No demand, the airplay goes down.
Okay.
And it's just a formula that works on our side.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, Funny Bone has been a comedian who was chased out because of the Just crisis, came to Lagos to survive, and he's made it here, refused to go back, and he's...
I can't go back. Oh. If you me, will you go back? To go and do what? I'm okay here.
But how was Jos really? Was it really bad for you to run?
It was not that bad, though, but you know, when people no longer feel safe to come out to have fun, you know, it becomes...
That's bad now. For entertainers, that's bad.
You know, it becomes... But nice place, you know, small town, they love each other, they love show business. Yeah. No, till now.
Okay.
You know, they will love you, they will show you love, they appreciate what you do. But that whole circle, that fear, that tension, at that time, you know, that I left was just too much, and I had to go.
I remember Jos fondly. Hilltop Hotel,
yeah, still there.
Still there?
Yeah.
That was where we went to lunch Satzenbrau.
They won't know the drink. They won't know, these young stars won't know it. I said, they know who I'm talking to. They won't know it, sir. Satzenbrau is a good drink. I don't know it, but I know it on the side.
All right, so I was working with a guy called Tony St. Ike.
We won't know it.
We don't know.
We all don't know.
Come down a bit.
Tony St. Ike.
These are young stars you're talking to, sir. Just
Okay, let me calm down. And so I was in Jos there. It was the first time that I saw ice fall from the skies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was raining, and we just finished the production, and so we're going back to our room. And they were dropping on the ground like this, and you were seeing the ice. And I was like, this is ice. They said, yes.
That's how ice spray started.
That's how ice spray started.
Yes. That is how. Nice one. I like that. Nice one.
So, why did you have to leave?
Okay, first was for my craft. You know, I needed to, you know, come out and see, you know, a bigger audience, you know.
You needed a fertile ground,
yes,
bigger
you know,
platform.
to do my, and before I moved, you know, like I kept going in,
Popping in and going
back and forth. God bless Upper Williams. You know, at that time I was on a show.
Okay.
You know, I was doing Abuja. You know, I was like, all right. So I already understood the system here before I moved.
Before you came back.
So I felt Lagos would give me, you know, that space and time to do my, you know, to come do my thing, explore and be bigger.
Your show now, is it the third or fourth?
Third one in Lagos.
In Lagos?
Yes.
Okay. I had some in Jos and other places.
Yes, I had one in Jos and I had one in London last year.
Okay.
Yes.
How was the London show?
Cool. It was good. It was good.
Dollars, have you? The pounds were...
Pounds, yeah. But you know, unlike others that would hype, I'm not good with hyping. You know, I like to say it the way it is.
The turnout was not as...
No, turnout was good, but the total expense, you know, what I spent...
See, you're supposed to look at the creative value.
Yes.
So they forget whether the total amount of spend.
That's what I'm saying. The creative expenditure was very okay.
There's no creative expenditure. No, wait. Now, listen. There's no creative expenditure.
Okay, sir.
Once you spend,
yes,
you spend. You now look at how many people enjoy. When people finish, didn't they say we enjoyed the show?
Yes, now.
That's all.
But
Is this...
I did not enjoy my pocket. So I'm not sure I want to go back there. Okay, baby. So it was a good. They laughed though. Yes, but they left me with blisters out of fever. So
were London people begging for free tickets?
No. Unlike here. I mean, there, you know.
They ask for free ticket here.
Even your guys.
Please ticket too.
One of them. So that's, you know, but
the ticket is not so expensive for your show.
Yes, just 5,000. The regular. The VIP is just 25. The table is just 1 million. Iba, even if you bring your own table, the space just 1 million. That's all low. It's not hard though. But we still beg you for it. And I don't know, sir. It's just that.
But to organize a show here is not so expensive. Why are you hosting it?
A quarter. No, it is though.
It's expensive,
yes, sir. Very expensive, sir. Very.
But why not partner with it? When you told them that you're doing a comedy show, they didn't give it to you for free.
No, sir. Even them. You know those that own the place now. You know where they come from?
Lebanese.
They don't do free things. Even their shawarma in VI is not free. So, no free. But again, I know for sure that, now this is me. Let me speak for myself. I know we do these shows as, comics in Lagos, not for the money, but, for the mileage.
Okay.
Because there's no way, there's no maths, there's no way you would, with what you're spending, there's no way you would get back in total
the return on investment.
Yeah, what you're putting in. But, it puts you out there, brand value, and from there you keep building and you hope to get better someday. But getting back the money at once, I don't know. Except some brand is paying you off.
Okay.
And how many brands will be willing to say, take money, go and do it? But we're getting there.
So your fans are actually funding the show, as it were.
Of course. My fans and my pocket.
Okay.
Yes. Which my pocket is my fan. Because it is my money. So I make it and I throw it back. And I get what I get. If need be, but so far, for the past 3 years, no profit so far.
Okay.
But financially.
But shouldn't you now put it together? Okay, when you put it as video and sell in the market, your brothers.
Hey, let's leave that one, sir. Because even my brothers now.
But if you put the thing and tell them that it's your money that has gone in, they won't pirate it because they know you as one name.
So the thing is, the internet thing too, further downplayed the sales.
Okay.
So now people watch more on YouTube.
Okay.
Than buying CDs. And as the show is going on, somebody somewhere is seated,
recording,
with pride, as if it's his father's house. They would put your content out, put on their channel on YouTube, and make money off you for no reason. So up until we get that structure where you're doing a show and you're getting what what is meant for you, I really don't know how, but I'm sure we'll get this.
And your show is on the
22nd of July, like
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Eco Hotel.
Yes, and suites.
You said 1,000 naira.
5,000 for regulars.
Okay, no, I was just checking. Just 1,000 or so how much last if somebody is buying for 3 people?
There's really nothing we can do about these 3. 5,000 is 5,000. 3 is 15. The VIP is 25. 3 is 75. The table is 1 million. We can put you can buy a seat on the table.
Okay.
Yeah. You will now do the mass.
That's 100K.
100K. We can now put you in someone's table. You will join them. You drink their drink and you eat their chops. But it's still the same amount.
Thank you. Funny Bone, awesome, spontaneous comedian. Okay, that's our show. We'll sign off with Demi Grace.